What up YouTube, it's Misery Company. In today's video, we're going to be answering the question, is Abomination a good skill? It definitely seems like the Diablo Immortal community is kind of split in this. Some people feel like it's really powerful, and some feel like it's just kind of eh. I tend to fall on the latter half, but I want to give this skill a good attempt and an A for effort to see just how good I can make it with as many essences as possible. And we're going to very quickly learn that there's not very many that impact this skill, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about why I think this skill isn't good in its current form. Now, it could be buffed, could be changed or modified, but we're going to talk about all that and so much more in this video. So is Abomination worth using for the Blood Knight? Let's get straight to it. So before we get too far into the video, I guess I should probably start with what is Abomination. Abomination is a skill that you actually unlock pretty quickly as you're leveling up the Blood Knight from the beginning, if you choose to do so, if you don't just choose the class change like I did. But it is a buff, which means it does get extended durations with different abilities. So cooldown is 20 seconds. So what it says is consumes all your anger to transform into an unholy abomination for 15 seconds, increasing your damage done and replacing your skills with Blood Rush and Shattering Fist. Generate anger each time you damage an enemy with your primary attack or use a skill. So Blood Rush, cooldown 3 seconds, shed your mortal flesh, and move forward a short distance, dealing 22,786 damage to enemies in your path. Shattering Fist, cooldown 5 seconds. Unleash a series of massive blows, dealing 18,228 damage every third attack, causing a knockback. And then I have some buffs here that we'll talk about. I do have a 2% charm. Forgot about that one. So the shoulders we're going to be using, and I'll show you here in a second, but while Abomination is active, defeating an enemy increases the remaining duration of Abomination by 0.4 seconds up to a maximum of 4.8 seconds, and that's from the shoulders. For the pants, while Abomination is active, defeating an enemy heals you for 5% of your life, up to 80% life restored. So pretty easy uptime there. And like I said, the only two slots that you can actually buff is going to be the shoulder and the pants. And unfortunately, there's only 4 essences total. That's right, only 4 that buff Abomination. So Bright Arrival is the one that gives you the extended duration. And then Journey's End is the one that gives you the while active you heal. Now there are 2 other options that I do not have. I don't have these essences as of yet, so I do want to speak to that in the very beginning of this video to showcase the different options you could have, and that may make Abomination a little bit better. So the first one is going to be a shoulder piece, and it's right here. So consent to ecstasy. So while Abomination is active, defeating an enemy grants you Abomination's Might, increasing your damage done by 3% up to a maximum of 15%. Now, you're going to be sacrificing the extended duration of Abomination. So keep that in mind. You're going to be doing more damage, so keep that in mind when I'm actually showing you Abomination in action. But again, it's up to 15%, and we don't know how long that lasts, and if it could be extended via Vithus or other duration effects. The other one is going to be another pant, which is Reliable Peril. Abomination also conjures an unholy aura around you for the duration of your transformation, dealing 3,746 damage every second to nearby enemies. Now, I'm going to be honest, these pants I would much rather use than the healing one, because I don't see us ever using Abomination in PvP, so it's really only a PvE skill. And even as such, you're not going to need to heal that much in PvE environment, unless I guess raids, but even then, well, we'll talk about that later. But so for this one, I would much rather use Reliable Peril. So this one I do admit would be a better essence. I just have not found it yet. So that's going to do it for the 4. That's it. 4 different options. That's it. There's no other possibility of buffing Abomination. So we're going to go ahead and jump into some PvE. We're going to go to a farm spot, build it up, and then we'll see how good it is from a farming standpoint, because that'll also showcase the overall damage. Because by this point, I've already shown you guys my favorite farm build, and this Abomination does perform well in the towers, but the mobs aren't necessarily as strong, at least in my opinion, over there. So let's go ahead and build up our Rage. I'm not going to pick up any towers or anything fun like that. As you can see, the Rage is building at the bottom right, the 4th skill there. Looks like somebody's already farming in this area. Love that. go ahead and build it up. It does not take long to build up, which is definitely a positive effect. And we'll see just how long we can keep the uptime as well as the cooldown with the extended duration and what that looks like. Almost done. All right, so we're going to go and finish these mobs. I'm going to jump over here. No mob. Okay. All right, let's pop it. Use our dash. You definitely can see like it's very, very slow auto attacks. I was trying to hit 1. So 3 is one that you can keep hitting. Got a short dash here in 2. And it just feels very clunky. You know, the damage is okay, but it's still not even as fast as what it was when I was doing my farming build. So the rush, wow, that didn't even kill him. Hopefully my little bonus guy can kill him there. And somebody's farming, so, and that's it. Like, that was the duration. So I am getting additional anger already, which you get back pretty quickly, which is a good benefit if you want to surround a build around this. Now, in case you're curious, I am doing a, whoops, messed up that one. A 2-piece Vithus and 4-piece Gloom. No, that's not true. Banquet. I'm running a 4-piece Banquet. So any dot damage would be even stronger, which would come especially in handy for the pants. So I'm almost done. I've almost at a full circle now, and some of the mobs are obviously being taken away by someone else. But yeah, I should be catching up to them probably here in a second. And then boom. Okay, there's Abomination. So go ahead and try to clear the mob. And yeah, I'm like starved my skills here a little bit. Doing a little bit more damage now, it would seem. And obviously the build-up would be a little bit faster as well if I had the shoulders, but then I would lack duration. So it's definitely a balance of sorts. But honestly, I still don't think this damage is as good as, you know, what the build that I had for, and it's already done. It's already down. So I didn't even get a full like farm circle in with the Abomination before I had to switch off of it. And the dash is quite low. Honestly, if they wanted to, like, in my opinion, I would make that sort of like a rogue-esque type of skill for the dash, where if you killed someone, it immediately reset, and make it a little bit farther. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this should be like the bread and butter skill or abilities, if you will, for the Blood Knight, because it's like, you know, you're turning into your bad form. So you need to generate more anger. Go over here. Gosh dang it, more people farming. There's like usually no one farming over here, and the one time I want to showcase. So like that should reset if I killed something or have a lighter cooldown, so I could just jump around to the next spot, spam my abilities, and then dash, right? And it should be a lot longer in my opinion. I think that would make it a little bit, just a hair more fluid. And then there's the auto attack apparently. So, you know, it is what it is. It's not great. I mean, the extended duration, I imagine, is helping keep it up some, but if that's the extended duration, it's probably not going to be all that good uptime without the shoulders, but it would do more damage. So it's definitely a balance. Honestly, like I said, guys, I don't think Abomination is worth it from a PvE, PvP, even farming standpoint. I just don't think it does enough damage. I do think, like I said, the pants would definitely help with an aura that just constantly does damage, and they would also benefit from my Banquet of the Eyes. But outside of that, I mean, sure, the shoulders, the other pair of shoulders would make it do more damage, but you're losing the duration by almost 5 seconds, 4.8 seconds, which is a lot for something that only lasts for 15 seconds. So yeah, I don't feel great about the skill. I think it's underwhelming to say the least in its current state. I would, like I said, I've given a couple notes of guidance that I think would help increase the maybe efficiency and less clunkiness of the build. But in its current state, we don't have a lot of options for Abomination. And there could, obviously, in the end, there will be more essences coming to the game, obviously, at a later date for the Blood Knight. But in its current state, I would not recommend Abomination to basically anyone, in case you just like sort of like the lore side of it and being able to turn into the Abomination. That's going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think about the Abomination skill in the comments below. Like I just said, I think it's a little underwhelming, and it could use either some slight adjusting or improvements to make it more smooth and more enjoyable. So let me know what you think in the comments below, guys. Until next time, lock it in.